What I want to start with is drawing an analogy between accounting and finance. So in the world of accounting, the accountants record historical information, which in my analogy is information that relates to, if we are driving a car, it relates to what we can see in the rear view mirror. It really only tells you about what has happened. In the world of finance, our job is very much to look forward and to see what's coming in front of us, what capital we require in the future, and what investments we might make in the future. So in this course, we have to find a balance between both of these views of the world. We'll definitely do some historical accounting, and we will do some forward-looking finance. Financial information is put together in various formats, depending on who the audience is. So we will cover management accounting, and a lot of that material will look like fixed and variable costing, break-even analysis, and some measurement of company performance based on profitability, etc. We also look at annual financial statements, where the audience is the shareholders of the business, and here we have a lot of rules and regulations that determine what this information must look like. Typically, the annual financial statements that are published by companies. We will look into a number of different companies to see their historical performance coming from these annual financial statements. We will also look at investments in new projects. And this is the forward-looking stuff. This is the stuff that asks, should we be investing in this new business or buying these new assets? And how sensitive is our forecast of what we might earn from these projects? How sensitive is it to various market dynamics that might affect it? So we'll cover in some way all forms of financial reporting. Just as far as the setting the rules are concerned, accountants have got lots of rules that define how the numbers must be structured, and you can see some alphabet soup here in my slides. Generally accepted accounting principles or international financial reporting standards. That's really just a lot of rules that govern the reporting. This concept of the matching principle, I'm going to explore that in more detail as we go along, but it really suggests that you must match your income and your expenses in the same time period. Now, I know that's quite difficult to get our mind around in just a theoretical statement, but when we get to some numbers, I'll clarify that for you. And the double entry system, often this is referred to as the T account, two different sides to the account, and what you do on one side you must do on the other side in some other account. And again, I don't want to delve into the detail of that here, it's not necessary. We will get into that as we progress through the numbers. Part of this course that I think is really important is being able to manage the performance of a business by using the financial information. And the analogy that I'm using in this slide is a pilot sitting in an aircraft that has various dashboards that give the pilot feedback on information required to fly this aircraft. And a business owner or a manager in a business needs similar feedback. And I'm going to refer to these different financial statements as dashboards that need to be interpreted that tell us about the performance of a business. So our job over the next several sessions is to be able to analyze this dashboard of financial information so that we can fly our aeroplane or our business where it needs to go to. Accounting has many limitations. Most of these limitations actually come about because of the language that's used. So when you read books on GAAP and IFRS, you'll get tripped up very quickly on terminology. And I'm going to do my best to overcome terminology by explaining these different words as we go along. And I've even got a glossary of terms that I can provide to you, where you can see every possible financial term that exists. So the numbers that are provided by accountants are their opinions and approximations. And we're going to see that when we do a working example in one of the sessions that come up shortly. And I'm going to explore, well, how could we do this and how might we do this, where the rules are a little bit loose and where you bring in opinions and approximations, there's room for error and interpretation. And of course, the non-financial information, like the value of the people or the brand or the goodwill that we have with our customers, none of that can be measured on the balance sheet. So we need to recognize that there's stuff missing from the balance sheet and the financial statements, and that provides us with a limitation of sorts. So there we have a quick overview of call it some issues on the playing field, if you like, as we get into our financial statements. I'm going to try and overcome those as best I can by being very clear in my discussion and terminology as we progress. See you in the next video.